You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I hope you have a good day.
Hope you have a better week.
I hope your month is full of successful days and a lot of great ventures. I hope you just come up, brother.
I hope your whole fucking year is spectacular.
Oh, you hope my year is spectacular.
Yeah.
You got something you want to say to me?
You got something you want to say?
To the riddle for next episode. If you had one day to save the world, how would you go about it? Would you be like Eggsy from Kingsman and love the federal agent so much that you name your dog after one?
JB, as in James Bond. No. Jack Bauer.
Do you like the thinkers more and want something cryptic? Like if I said, go save Kirby from Scream. It's the cheerleader. You save the world. Do you like to keep it low-key and say, like, your name is Sydney, a.k.a. Kate, a.k.a. whatever other name you got? Or is the countdown just so hard for you, hour after hour, after second? You're like, I'm putting in my lottery numbers.
4, 8, 15, 16, and 23 with the mega number 42.
I'm getting on a plane and I'm disappearing in the smoke. With that, for Daryl, for Drew, for Ryan, for Matt, and for Malcolm. What up, family? It's your boy Amaru, and we are back. We are here. Not as late as I thought I was going to be for another episode of One Gotta Stay. We're back to the TV shows. Haven't hit up the TV. Oh, wait. I'm going to be wondering whether I'm lagging. No.
Oh.
All right, who wants to host now? Anybody want to host?
So here at One Gotta Stay.
All right, who gets to host now?
How's everyone doing? Doing pretty good.
Great.
Good.
I haven't seen you in a while, Jacoby. It's good to see you.
I know. Been a bit. How are things? How's everything? Life good? Everyone happy, healthy, everyone all that good stuff?
When I'm not telling about movie trailers, just doing rehearsal for a theater production right now during my free time.
Nice.
That's how it goes.
Doing Into the Woods.
Oh,
I'm having a great time laughing at you all, laughing at me because I watched my show and I completely dropped out of nowhere.
Wow, it's like you knew it was coming. I liked your no was like no.
And my phone decided to just hibernate, literally hibernate. The second I started going. Hold on, I need my computer back on. I don't know what happened. It just died on me. So we're gonna go for my phone. Luckily, I kind of know what's going on. But coming back, hi everybody. We're here again. That's what happens when you go live and your computer decides to crap out on you. I'll be back in the other way, but let's just keep it going. Chris, take over for a second. How are you? We'll figure everything out later.
I'm doing good. I just hit have fun and talk about some of my favorite TV shows all the time, and a two show I like. So hit have fun.
Nice. Swirls, how are you feeling about hosting this week's episode?
Okay, let me get but I will say I'm super excited about this one. I will say of all the ones that I've been on before, this is I just, as spoiler free as possible. This was probably the easiest decision of all of them. So I feel like I'm very curious to see what everyone else goes as, but
the easiest decision, yet you changed your list.
I did change
after
it.
Figuring something out. So
Calling him out.
Yes.
Below Swirls, Jacoby, you are definitely hosting because look what's about to happen. Wait, no, I don't know how to run this. Bye. I'm gonna leave it eventually. See y'all.
That was such a lead up.
Yeah.
I am also excited to talk about these choices. I think these are very interesting choices. Oh, he's back. Okay, good. Thank God.
God, it was a train wreck. It was an absolute train wreck.
Yeah. No, I love talking about this shit. Yeah. Was it pretty good? A+ guys?
Yes. Yeah. Take it. We'll take it.
Perfect. Good. Just be ready to take over just in case my computer decides to
to not want to just go to sleep again. But Jacoby, glad to see you. Next to him, 2 weeks in a row, 2 shows in a row, with the great new camera. Is the microphone working this time? Malcolm,
It is.
Ooh.
My microphone is working this time. I think what happened last time is I didn't have my headphones plugged in all the way in, so I don't know. But it is working. And yeah, and I think those that know me might be able to predict what my number one is, but I'm not giving anything away here.
No, not at all. Not at all.
There's
and then
nothing there.
Nothing. And another person with a new camera. Not in the dark. Steven, how are you doing?
Yeah, this although my number one is my number one show of all time for me, the number two is my second favorite TV show of all time, and my third choice is also in my top 5 or 6. So yeah, this was kind of a heartbreaker for me.
Well, we can finally actually talk about what the shows are, because we have a little consistency. I'm still here. It's been a minute and a half, and I haven't ducked out yet. So here are the shows we're talking about this week. We are deciding what we are going to keep between 24, Alias, Lost, and Heroes. Basically, everyone who saved the world over and over again in the mid-2000s. We'll see which one is getting saved by everyone tonight. And before something else bad goes happen, let's just get started. Jacoby, what is your number 4?
My number 4.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, my number 4 is a show. This one was relatively easy. It's both. It was super easy, but super hard because of the implications of if this one is gone forever, what that means for a lot of future stuff. But I had to do it because it's a show that I'm not actually super familiar with. I've seen a few episodes here and there, but it's one I've never actually bothered to dive into. So the first one that I'm kicking out of here to make the decision much harder for the other 3 is Alias. Alias is my number 4. I think it's a show that I know it's a J.J. Abrams show, which could affect other things. Well, if it's gone forever, and it helped launch the
J.J. Abrams show. The J.J. Abrams show.
You take that back. It also launched the career of Bradley Cooper. So if this is gone forever, then it's probably that's probably an issue for later things. But I don't care. This is a show that's never intrigued me that much, especially compared to the other one. So get it out of here.
Does anybody else agree with Jacoby? Because it ain't me.
What the hell?
Malcolm and Chris. All right, gentlemen. Why do you not like Bradley Cooper?
So I had to give a pensive here. I believe, like the first season of Alias, I really do like it a lot. I just never got back to watch all of it. But for one thing, I like it. The other shows I've seen almost every season of, and I just can't put Alias, despite how much I love the first season, above them. Just because I need to see more to show a better opinion. But I do like the show. I think it's a really good show. I love Victor Garber, her dad. I love Jennifer Garner. I love Bradley Cooper in it. Like, it's a really good show. I just need to see all of it to get a better opinion of it all. Like,
Gina Torres. Go ahead.
Great in other shows.
Yeah, for me, mine's the same reason as Jacoby. Really, like I've seen 1 or 2 episodes here and there. I just haven't really had the time to sort of sit down and actually watch it from start to finish. It's on my list to do that at some stage. I just haven't had time to do it before this show. So
it's on Amazon Prime.
It was on Netflix originally.
Go to Amazon Prime, and if I just get one more person to watch this show and realize how underrated it is, I will be happy. But with that, since half the panel has gotten rid of Alias, and I don't know why, we'll just move on. Swirls Barkley, Nick Carley. Nick, what is your number 4?
All right. Okay. I hate that I had to put this at 4 because I really enjoyed the start of it, but then the rest of the continuation was just so ridiculous and not like almost unwatchable. I put Heroes at number 4. Like it's a great concept. The first like season or 2 is great. I thought it was a really great start, but it just went really downhill from there, and I had trouble finishing it at the end. So it's heartbreaking in the sense that I like wish it would have continued the way it did. That it started off great, but it just sputtered at the end there. So, I mean, I had to put it there, even though I really enjoyed the first at least the first 2 seasons of it.
Swarley, I'm there with you. It's ridiculous because Heroes was an event. Heroes was absolutely an event. It had so many people, Zachary Quinto and Grunberg and Hayden, and it just started off so well. And then it just kind of went to nowhere. So even though I love the show and I had like a little bit of like hope for the rebirth thing. Heroes was also my number 4. Steven, is it your number 4 as well, or are you going somewhere else?
No, Heroes is number 4 for me too.
There we go.
Any other reasons to add on to why, or did we just hit the nail in the coffin of this show that died?
I've seen a few episodes here and there. And I enjoyed it, the episodes that I watched. But yeah, I never thought it was like anything amazing. I just thought it was a decent watch. Has a really good cast. 2 actors from Alias were on this show. You had Grunberg and I believe David Anders, who played Sark on Alias, was also on the show.
Grunberg is in a bunch of these, and I was actually trying to come up with a riddle for him last week through it, and I couldn't. I was like, he's not in the last one. Damn it.
I'm curious because if Heroes is gone, right, from everything, then does Zachary Quinto still play Spock? Would he still have that chance? Would he still be the star that he kind of eventually became if it was gone?
They still have Kingdom Hearts, and a lot of people still have one.
Well, Hayden was in Remember the Titans. She'd been all right. For me, the way I take it, I don't like erase everything else in the future. I just say it's done. It's no longer there for the rest of my life, and I don't really ever need to see Hero yell huzzah or anything, whatever he does again.
That's such an inspiring moment in that first season when he does it the first time in that first season. That's really good.
That's the point.
And then the rest of it just it down. I would say this is by far in a while the easiest bottom 2 coming up, because that's everybody. That's our number 4s. Our number 4s are gone already. Where Alias, which hurt my heart, Alias is gone for Jacoby, Chris, and Malcolm. And me, Steven, and Nick got rid of Heroes first. So we'll just keep this moving. We'll keep this train going. Chris, what do you have as your number 3?
So this was tough between 3 and 4. I have Heroes actually on my number 3. The only reason I have it at my number 3, the first season of Heroes is one of the best seasons for any TV show there is. It's a lot of great acting, great action. Zachary Quinto is one of the best TV villains, at least for the first season. Then it goes downhill from there, and it's so bad because you like a lot of the character, and it hurt me because that, especially with the new one, seeing Zachary Quinto come up and Zachary Levi show up when they try to bring it back. And his character was interesting, but it went nowhere. It's just like a show where I feel like had so much potential, and the first season so great. They did cheerleader to stay the role. They just could have fulfilled that potential, like other shows that does it better. I love Hayden Panettiere. I love Jackie Quinto. I like Milo. Everything. He always would be dead for this stuff for me. I prefer him that. But everybody, even I get rid of this, I still keep the others. Like Milo still got this and that. He still got Rocky. Hidden Panettiere, Remember Titan, Kingdom Hearts. Like everybody else still have parts to say I like them in it. It's a show I do respect. And I think the other season had moments I like. But yeah, that Carnival season, I wish I took away from my mind. Like, wait, good.
I forgot the carnival season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Such a good
Forgot about that
actor
one.
for, Racing's such a good actor for Prison Break in this show. So, like, no, I can never forget that. Like, yeah, no, here was my number 3.
Does anybody else have Heroes as their number 3?
I do.
Jacoby. All right.
I agree with everything that's because again I echo that thoughts that the first season of Heroes is probably one of the single greatest seasons of television. Just the way that it's formatted and structured and introduces its world and its concept and its characters is brilliant. I still remember sitting on the couch when Save the Cheerleaders, Save the World, when he found out that Peter Petrelli was the bomb that blew up, which I just remember I was just like, oh, that's like amazing. Like this is everything about that was so good. And then everything after that is just garbage. I hate the second season is the prime example of the writer's strike that happened back then, completely derailing the show's plans, and it never recovered from that. Every season afterward was how do we nerf Hero? How do we nerf Siler? How do we do all these things to make these characters ruin these characters? And the revival, I want to erase from my mind. This was almost my number 4, but I almost put this as my number 4 to get this out of the way because how the revival treats Matt Parkman is the single worst character assassination in like television history. I hate the way that how they end his character and what they did to his character, and that just made me so mad. So I almost wanted to erase this anger from my mind, but I couldn't do that because the first season is just so fantastic. So that's why.
Message.
So that's what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't agree more with that.
You still put this over Alias. You still put this over Alias, but before
because the first
whatever.
season. Because the first season is so good.
Steven, just keep us going. What is your number 3?
This was a heartbreaker, but because, like I said, my top 3 are all in my top 5 or 6 of all time. And so I have Alias at number 3, and I hated putting Alias at number 3. But I will say, even though I still loved seasons 3 through 5, they're not, I will admit, they're not on the level as the first 2 seasons. But I still love them. And the only reason why it's number 3 is because I happen to love the other 2 a little more.
Does anybody else have Alias as their number 3? No,
gone.
of course not. No, not at all. Not at all. Because I would say, you know what? I'm gonna save that for later because I don't have it as my number 3. So Alias is gone for the number 3s, and Heroes is gone for the number 3s. So Malcolm, break some hearts right now. What is your number 3?
Yeah, my number 3 is 24. Look, this is one of those shows that I started watching, and I just sort of kind of dropped off around season 3 in there, and never actually gone back to continue it. I mean, I like a lot of spy things, and it's not that I hate 24. It's just that the other shows that are left, I actually like a lot more. So, yeah.
Well, a lot of people think season 5 is actually the best season of the show.
Well, apparently Malcolm doesn't care.
Well, I mean, technically, we got into it.
And you,
That's so low for the show.
Missed out on some of the best the 2 seasons after season 3 are really good season of 24.
Well, Nick, do you have 24 at your number 3, or did you do something?
No, I did. I have 24 at 3. Very much like Heroes. I feel like that it started off strong, and it like season 5. I agree is very good, but I just feel like there's a lot of really weak, like just very overacted, like very cheesy seasons that I don't. That's just so. But I love the concept. I thought it was a really great concept for at least for at least the end of season 1 is fantastic. Absolutely one of the better ones. So it's just one of those ones that's like it had a good season here and there, but it like I don't think it fulfilled its potential. And I think like Kiefer Sutherland kind of went the whole route. If you've seen the Family Guy skit of Harrison Ford being like, "Where's my kid? Where's my kid?" Like going around, like he very much just went like full on like that, and it kind of got old really quick. So that's how I feel about 24. And it's like the only reason is I feel like there's a couple more good seasons ahead of Heroes, and that's why 24 is ahead of that.
What?
Ow.
Wow.
Wow. Bold statement.
Well, guys, I'm the only one left with the 3.
Oh no!
And I am gonna have to say that I am very sorry. 24 is also my number 3. 24 is also my number 3. Yeah.
Oh, thank God you did
it. Only because Heroes was so bad on the way out. I have tried again and again and again to watch 24, and I couldn't. I don't know what it was. I could never get into it. There was a point in time where I was like, should 24 be my number 4? But then when I saw the episode, remember the episodes I watched, I was like, no, there's no way, because just Heroes is just not good. This is just turning into a Bash Heroes episode, which
the Bash Heroes episode,
which is okay with me for now. But 24 is also my number 3, just because the other 2 were just so damn good. But with that, we're just gonna go straight into it. We're gonna look at our final 2s. Me and Nick both have Alias and Lost. Jacoby, Chris, and Steven have 24 and Lost. Malcolm likes Heroes. Wow. But we'll see whether or not.
Wow.
I wonder which one he's going to choose.
Let's see if he likes it as much as his name that he has right now. Of course not. So let's just get into it. 4 people picked Lost. 1 person picked Alias, and 1 person picked 24. Because we're all in groups, even though there's a couple on an island, we're just going to get into it. I think my brother said it best. Sydney Bristow would go to that island and kill the Dharma Initiative, then whoop Jack Power's ass, and then be able to save the cheerleader in a day. Alias is the best television show to come out of that era, period. Point blank. Victor Garber is amazing. Jennifer Garner was amazing. I didn't know who I was like, oh shit, Bradley Cooper was in that show. Carl, whatever his last name, who was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The acting in that show was, it was just beautiful. I don't remember a season of Alias that wasn't good. I remember people saying Lost got stupid as shit.
Well, they're wrong.
Absolutely stupid. And I do not remember an Alias. I don't remember a season of Alias where I wasn't into it. I'm sorry. I know all you Lost heads think it's Lost or bust, but Alias for me is head and shoulders above Lost.
You know why you don't hear that is because nobody talks about Alias. That's why you don't hear anybody talking crap about Alias, because nobody talks about that show anymore. That is the inferior J.J. Abrams. It still is probably very good. The acting could be great. It does not deserve to have the place above all these 3 other shows.
You didn't even mention Ron Rifkin, and I think Arvin Sloane is one of the greatest TV villains of all time.
It was so good. It was so good. I will give it to you. I watched Lost like crazy as well, but just the all the feelings I had just watching Alias week after week after week, and never getting bored of that show, never losing interest in that show. I had to keep it over Lost because I definitely fell off of Lost until maybe like the last season came back. They killed my man AAA, and I was like, nah, I'm done. I don't give a shit about this smoke monster. AAA's gone. But a lot of you have Lost, except Steven. Steven has 24. Go on ahead, fellas. How do you tell us how you really feel?
I don't know. I thought Lost was. I know you said it got ridiculous, and Alias I've only watched once. I'm sure if I watch it more, I will enjoy it. I mean, you already called me out on it. I rewatched Alias very recently, and
it switched your whole list.
It did. Alias was originally my 4th, and then I bumped it up to 2. So
wow.
it was it was very much like I really like it. It is a great show, but I don't know. I think Lost is just biased because that was one of the first shows that I watched. I sat down and watched it every week, like when stuff was still coming out. Okay, fine, fair enough.
Just because you have a cool
Oh, well,
character
that's
at your
what-
center doesn't mean your show is better.
Yeah. Well, it's just I don't know. I enjoyed just the whole story arc of it. Yes, the ending is very divisive and whatnot, whatever, but I just thought it was a very good whole story arc. And like I said, I feel like it's I wouldn't say recency bias, obviously, but it's just it's one of the first shows that I watched from beginning to end, like weekly when it was coming on television because I'm an old man. So that is the reason that it barely edged Alias. But like I said, if I rewatched it again, I bet Alias would probably be right on the same boat or right on the same Lost when it comes to boat. Yeah.
Look, one man watched some episodes and bumped it up from 4 to 2. I need this justice for Alias. Everybody go watch that show on Prime now and see how good it is. But anyway, keep on going about Lost in 24.
But yeah, like for me, like as soon as I saw the 4, like I knew Lost was going to be my number 1 straight off the bat. Because I really love Lost. This is one of those shows that I didn't get into straight away. Like because I think I watched the first episode when it first premiered, and just kind of almost gave up on it. But then when season 2 was coming out, they were showing all of season 1 in late night slots in New Zealand. So I decided to give it a shot then, got really into it and started really just making sure I was tuning in as soon as it dropped. And it's just one of those shows I really love. Like, and like, well, yes, some of the things that happen get ridiculous, but it's a science fiction show. Like, it's not supposed to be an island you can just go to visit any times. Like, it's supposed to be a ridiculous thing, and that's the fun of it.
Yeah, I mean,
you did also save Heroes as your number 2, so ridiculous isn't that bad for you. Go on ahead, Chris.
So Lost was a show that kind of similar to Malcolm. I didn't know about Lost first, but my parents got me the first season for Christmas, and I binge watched the whole first season before the second season premiere, and I love it every moment. I love Lost. It used to be a show to talk with my friends during high school because this was when I was growing up. I love all of the characters. I cry, I cheer, I laugh. I love Hurley. I love every character. I love Desmond. I cheered when he reunited with Penny. That scene itself, I think, one of my favorite reunited moments of the show. I like Charlie, not Penny boat moment, still hurt me every time. Then like every death on that show hit me emotionally.
I will say I can visually see Dominic Monaghan with the drowning in the hand. And yeah, that was a moment. That was definitely a moment.
Yeah.
Like Sawyer, Kate, Claire, Jack, like every character I love. Even Mr. Echo, I love Ben. Very awful person, but it's such a great character in the show. Like, I love every character. Yeah, the ending is ridiculous, but it had a beautiful moment even at the end, despite the ridiculousness of the ending. Like, it's just what I love. I mean, the only reason why 24 number 2 is just I feel it fell off at the end. Like, I liked the miniseries with Jack, but I hated it when they brought it back. Like, I did not like that new show. And yeah, I love both. There's the 2 shows I grew up with in high school. 24 set the presidents of stuff coming in the future. You know, for African American president of 24, and like many years later, we got our first African American president. Like, you know, Terry Jones was really good at the president in the latest season 24. Like, hopefully, that's the lead the president for real life. Everything about both shows was stuff I grew up on, so that I love and appreciate.
Look, Dennis Haysbert has a face and a voice that makes you believe he's president. He can go from being Serrano, hitting home runs, to selling me insurance. He can do whatever. If he went for president, I'd probably vote for him. It's all good. As much as I'm trying to just get people to watch Alias again and again, Lost was definitely my number 2. I actually enjoyed the series finale. I didn't mind it at all. And 24, my question is, Is Designated Survivor just a continuation of that show? Because that's what I always wanted to know.
No.
Steven, you picked 24 as your number one. You saved it. How do you have 24 as your number one?
Well, before I go into 24, I will say that I am a defender of the series finale for Lost.
Thank
It's
you.
actually
Thank
my
you.
favorite.
Same here.
And it's just an amazing cast, and Jack and Locke and Ben, great characters. But 24 is my favorite TV show of all time. I love the action, the real time format, and the characters. I mean, even though the show is centered obviously around Jack, the other, I also, my other favorite character of that show is the Tony Almeida character, and I actually loved what they did with him throughout the seasons, including when they made him a bad guy in season 7. And I thought, like Xander Berkeley, I thought it was a crime that he wasn't nominated for an Emmy for his work in season 2. When he was exposed to the radiation and slowly dying throughout the season. So it's got like amazing characters, great actors. I mean, I mentioned before how I think Arvin Sloane is one of the greatest villains of all time. I also thought President Charles Logan is one of the greatest villains of all time.
That was a good argument. I agree.
Gregory Edson was just incredible in both. And they try to make him kind of good in season 6, but then they go back to making him a villain sort of in season 8. And I thought he was the last from episode 16 to 24 of season 8. I think it was just an incredible string of episodes where they even kind of make, for the first time in the show, Jack is kind of in the wrong. Because he goes on a revengeful, killing spree, and it's just and I did love Live Another Day. I will agree that Legacy is not as good as the other seasons, but I can kind of it doesn't really do anything for my love for the rest of the show, and I can kind of set that aside and separate it from the rest. Since, I mean, apart from when they bring Tony back, it's very much, and even that I thought still had its moments, because I thought Miranda Otto and Jimmy Smits are quite excellent actually in that. So, and plus, it's probably one of the few shows where people keep asking if it's going to come back, and they keep talking about bringing it back, which I hope they do, because the way Live Another Day ended, I don't want that to be how Jack's story ends.
I mean, I didn't want that be the way it ends with him and Audrey. That would sad.
Yeah, I always did kind of want a happy ending for Jack with Audrey, but that's obviously now not gonna happen.
Did any of these shows really end in a happy ending for most people? I don't know. Jacoby, when I put this list together, I specifically said Jacoby's on the show because I know what he's picking. So go ahead, sir. Talk poetic, wax poetic about Lost.
Talk about Lost. I think Lost. I do got to say why I put 24 as number 2 first of all, because I love I agree with everything that you said about how the format and the characters are great, and just the event nature of that show, to show that you watch and you sit down and it hooks you because you have to watch the next episode. It's one of the only. It's a very inventive 2000 show where it grabs you and never stops. It never lets off the throttle. But the one reason that I want to get it gone out of here, that actually sealed it above all others, is because in 2006, Kiefer Sutherland won the Best Emmy Actor for Best Actor in a Drama Series in Day 5, robbing Martin Sheen from The West Wing his last chance to win it, making sure he never won it before. And that is completely ridiculous. I love Kiefer Sutherland as Jack Bauer. He is great at that. But does he deserve Best Lead Actor in a Drama Series? No, he does not. He is a good blunt force instrument. He does not beat Martin Sheen. Anyways, Lost is the greatest single show of all time. It was the event of the 2000s. It was the show that you talk about. It was the Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones. It changed the way that we watched television. And yes, the mysteries got bigger and broader in as the seasons went on. But at its core, it was always about the characters, and that's what made it such a special show. And that's what has increased its staying power for so long, because it was never about solving the mysteries. It was about how these characters themselves are reacting to these mysteries. And every other mystery show that came after that always failed to do that, because they never followed that format. They never made us care about the characters. It was a show that had heart, it had drama, it had humor, it had science fiction, and the ending is great. And people who say that like, oh, were they dead the whole time, or were they all that sort of stuff, just we're not watching it. Like, I hate to say you're not watching it correctly, because people watch it and people watch things how they want to face it. But if you think they're dead at the end of it and nothing mattered, then you're watching it wrong, because that's not the point of the show. I get the frustrations, but I think it's pros and it's all the good stuff greatly outweigh the bad, and it is an iconic show that changed the landscape for television.
Yeah, I would say the only two things I don't like about the show: the flashback episode, and that one couple that steals stuff. Like, that one nuts to take care of.
Nikki and
Everything
Paulo.
else about law. Yeah.
Yeah, as far as
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. As far as people thinking that they were dead the whole time, I mean, they clearly weren't paying attention, because in the ending they clearly state. In fact, you could even almost argue that the show, spelled it out too much. That it's just the flash sideways throughout the last season, in which they're purgatory of sorts. But everything on the island was clearly real.
I just remember watching that last episode and it ending with Matthew Fox the same way it started, and I was just, damn.
Yeah.
Again, why it's number 2, the tear in my eyes. But again, for me, just seeing, I think Sydney Bristow was one of the first female consistent, just female ass kicking characters. And
I don't know if you would argue Scully from the X-Files.
Yeah, Matthew Fox looking up again and wondering where the dog was. That also it did break me,
because nobody has to die alone. That's what the theme. Exactly. That's how it ends. It's so good.
These 4 shows, their casts were stacked.
Yeah.
Stacked from front to back. And like looking back at all of them, was like, damn, all these people in these shows, and Greg Grunberg, and damn near every single one of them. Give us your final thoughts. Wrap up. Why did you have Heroes as number 2? By the way, in addition to having Lost,
I am so much notes.
I mean, Lost, Heroes is a show that I watched from the start, and I just kept on watching, and I legitimately enjoyed all of it. Like, when it comes to like superhero shows, like I tend to gravitate them a lot, even though like I know that some of the series wasn't as good as it could have been. I enjoyed, and I will say this: I haven't actually got around to watching Heroes Reborn, so that might have changed. If I had seen it, that might have changed my mind and moved Heroes down. But it's just one of those ones. Like, Heroes is just one of those shows that I just had to watch from the get-go, and just a little bit of Lost. Depending on how you want to end it, like, you can either end it with the way the show ended, or on the DVDs of the final season, there is that special episode short thing, the New Man in Charge or something like that, which shows Hurley sort of taking charge of the island and all that. That is also really good as well. But yeah.
Steven, you're the only one who had 24. Give us your final thoughts on that, on Lost, and just this list in general.
Well, I understand sticking with the show even when it's not as good, because I love the first 5 seasons of Arrow, but that show went down after season 5, and I still stuck with it till the end. Although the last season, the problem with the last season had more to do with the
crossover.
The crossover, which was disappointing. But I mean, Alias, Lost, 24, like I said, these are all shows that I love dearly. I mean, I fell in love with Jennifer Garner watching Alias. And I didn't watch the first season of Alias as much because it aired because I was an avid X-Files fan, and it aired the same night and the same time as the X-Files.
Oh,
Once
those
the-
days.
Had to like choose. Wow.
yeah, but once the X-Files ended, then I switched over to Alias and caught up on DVD with what I missed from the first couple seasons. And I loved the whole Milo Ramboldi prophecy storyline, even though they kind of messed that one up a little bit in one regard, because it involved, Sydney and her sister. Like the prophecy originally, if you watch the show, I'm pretty sure they originally said that she was supposed to fight to the death the passenger, which is her sister, and that neither of them are supposed to make it. But then they changed it after that so that one of them would make it. And but
These shows did that all the time.
yeah,
All the time.
And Lost, that's one of my favorite group of characters and of all time for sure. And the series finale. I'm sure 24. I don't think 24 has had technically a series finale, because I'm pretty sure they're going to bring it back at some point, and then hopefully
I don't know how you can.
they'll give Jack Bauer the closure he deserves, probably because he'll probably die at the end. But
maybe they'll just reveal that Jack Bauer's been Kiefer Sutherland's character from Phone Booth the entire time.
That's what he turned into. That'd be great.
That's what he turned into.
No, Jack Bauer becomes the president of the United States.
Something like that.
Designated
Chris,
survivor.
what's your final thoughts on Lost? 24 was your number 2 in this list in general.
This was a great list. Lost will be the show I remember growing up watching in high school. Show that I love every relationship. My favorite TV relationship that Lost come for this show. And 24 is a great show. Could have ended better with the 24 legacy, but I did love all the other seasons. Even the bad seasons I do tend to like, and I like 24 living a day. So yeah, both great show. Alias, I did go back. I think on my list I should watch this year all the way through. Once I get through another certain show. But and here I always remember the best season with season 1, and the rest I will forget. Lost forever, and hopefully they never reboot it, because that is a great show that never should be touched and rebooted ever.
Nah, probably not. And Charles Barkley, finish us off here. Tell everyone why Alias is so good that it changed your entire but you still kept Lost.
You're just trying to get someone to watch Alias.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing here.
Well, no, I had watched the first at least 3 seasons before rewatching it in the last few days. But no, I just, like you said, Jennifer Garner's character is just such a great character to center the show around. I mean, to be straightforward, I've never been blown away by Jennifer Garner in most roles I've seen her in, but even in the first few episodes of this show, I was like, wow, she is killing it in this role. I was very happy with that. So no, I just think it's many people, it's peak J.J. Abrams in the sense that it's his style, of what I've loved from all of his other movies and shows that I've watched. It's very much really good. I was very oh, there's Bradley Cooper. That was fun to see, and all just random little things like that. But the action's really good. The suspense is really good. So I'm looking forward to finishing the rest of the show. So I don't know. I think just it was a really strong beginning, and I think 5 seasons is about as perfect as you can get. So I'm very curious to, like I said, to rewatch these last couple seasons to see how it wraps itself up. But I really I was really impressed with that show. I've heard people talk about it for a while, so I was happy to revisit it.
Yeah. So with that, I think this is the one that the people who didn't come on, I got the most chatter about how Lost is the ultimate show and wins above all. But me and Steven had other things in mind, though Lost was our number 2s anyway. So they do have a point with Jacoby, Chris, Malcolm, and Nick Carly. Keeping Lost as their number 1. I'd like to thank all these gentlemen for hopping on today. Really appreciate it. And as always, we're going to move on with our riddle for the next episode. So for next episode, if you want to take control of this episode, you got to have some rhythm. You got to at least be able to count down from 5. You can't just stand there and strike a pose. You got to work. Work so they don't stop the music. Or you're just going to sit there looking crazy, looking like something toxic's going through your body, and just having to do something again and again and again, saying oops the whole time. With that, for Nick, for Jacoby, for Malcolm, for Steven, and for Chris, we are out of here.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. All right then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really